So mental fitness, is that different than mental wellness?
Mental fitness is sort of the high end of mental wellness. When we describe mental wellness scientifically, there's a couple of ways that we can define it. So one of them is something called psychological vigor. Vigor in psychology research is the opposite of burnout. So vigor is defined as a sustained three-tiered mood state characterized by physical energy, mental acuity, and emotional well-being, all wrapped up into one thing. That's vigor. So vigor is the opposite of burnout. That's how people want to feel. That's when you have vigor, not only are you physically energized and you're mentally sharp, but you're motivated, you're resilient, you're the kind of person that can get things done and solve problems and form strategies and that kind of stuff, right? So that's vigor. Sometimes we describe it as human flourishing versus the opposite of flourishing is languishing. So those are different than depression, which we can measure separately. It's different than anxiety, which we can measure separately. So there are all sorts of slices of mood state, and mental fitness, I think, is when people are trying to optimize all of that. A lot of times I describe to people that there's what I refer to as a mental wellness continuum, where at the low end of that continuum, you might actually be depressed and anxious and burned out. The people, and then your solution is to feel normal again, right? Your solution is to get into the middle of that continuum, where you might not feel amazing, you might not feel great, but you feel okay, right? You feel like you can execute on certain things instead of being in a rut, in a quagmire. But then mental fitness is even another step above that, where you're really starting to fire on all cylinders and really starting to, have an advantage over the competition, so to speak.